This is going to be a very interesting game, and a good one, too.
And it's the second and last meeting of the year of the regular season between these clubs. They could be meeting in the NBA championship playoffs. A sellout crowd here at the Forum. That's our score with 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the first period. And hope you enjoyed Bobby Allison winning the Daytona 500 on CBS earlier.
An interesting thing is Magic Johnson's been guarding Maxwell and doing a pretty good job defensively.
Bird on Wilkes right here. They double team Jamal, and the ball is tipped in nonetheless. The Lakers, as we said, were down 16-7. And now they trail by only 1 point, and Magic has 6 points to lead Los Angeles. Maxwell has 6 to lead Boston. And we already had a three-point play earlier by Tiny Archibald.
They got in charging foul. What Magic has done a couple of times playing defensively when Maxwell is taking him inside, he's managed to steal a pass into him and got fast breaks out of it.
LA has outscored the Boston 10-2 since the Celtics had that 9-point lead. Kareem skyhook, which was not stopped last week when he scored 35 points, misses there. So Tiny Archibald, Celtics in green, number 7. Chris Ford, 42 in the backcourt. Maxwell coming off a 31-point game against San Diego. And there's the second shots that the Celtics like to get. They missed that, however. Nixon. Cooper, 21. And we have a foul going the other way on Los Angeles. It's on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar pushing off his first personal foul.
So what happens is Kareem does not screen up very well, but when you're a big guy, it's very difficult to learn to screen out because most of your life you can out-jump the other guys. And then you get here and everybody, like Robert Parrish is not one of the big centers, he's only 7'1".
Inside to Maxwell, and Johnson and Wilkes got a hand in, and we'll have a personal foul.
He's only 7 feet. He's not 7'1".
I guess you guys worry about those little millimeters.
Hey,
right?
listen, it makes a lot of difference.
Jamal Wilkes, who quietly will get you a lot of points, as he did last week when he scored 20 of his 26 in the second half. He committed his first foul. Harris setting a screen for Tiny. Nixon trying to fight through it. No love lost between Nixon and Tiny Archibald. They had quite a conflict last time, and there's a possible three-point play situation coming up for Archibald. So no Valentine cards being sent between these players today, Bill.
You know, it's funny. These are two smallest guys on the court, and they grouch you enough for any 8 guys out there. So see what I just did to you? I shot it right-handed, and Tiny's left-handed.
Team fouls right now. The Lakers are in the penalty, and the Celtics committed just 2. So with 3:11 to go, a 4-point Boston lead. Keep in mind, the Lakers came from behind to win last week, 119-113. No foul on Nixon, who's been a little cold lately. Kareem fighting for the loose ball. Underneath, Wilkes all alone. Someone left Wilkes alone, and Jamal burned him. So
Well,
a 2-point game.
The reason he was alone is because that ball was knocked around, and they thought that the Celtics had the ball, and they were going to take off on a fast break.
Larry Bird to Parrish. That's what Larry Bird can do. He doesn't have to score to help you. He can pass inside like that. And Bird, who's 6th in scoring, 5th in rebounding, and 8th in steals, and 8th in free throws. So he's amongst the leaders in 4 categories and has 3 assists so far. Less than 2.5 minutes to go, first period. NBA on CBS, the Lakers and the Celtics in a big one. And they'll call a foul. Bird had to pick up Kareem. And a foul at the baseline as we have our first substitution of the game. Eddie Jordan is coming in the ball game for the Los Angeles Lakers. Seeing more and more action. Eddie Jordan and Bird commits the foul, and Jordan will come in when we come back.
And these teams are really going at each other today. They came out right from the opening bell going at each other. And they're really having a good time out there.
Here's what's happening in the Atlantic Division, where the Celtic lead is just a half a game ahead of Philadelphia. The Sixers have won 5 in a row. We'll see them next week. And in the Pacific Division, the Lakers are trailing Seattle by a half a game. And to finish first place, there are a lot of good things that happen. The biggest, perhaps, may be avoiding that extra mini-series that did in the Los Angeles Lakers last year against Houston.
And every coach I've talked to that have the teams that are in contention want to avoid that mini-series because they say, anything can happen. See, in a 5-game or 7-game series, you can establish something, although you might lose the first game, or even the first 2 games, you can establish something, and the best team will win. But in a 3-game series, anything can happen.
Kareem misses the free throw. Lakers are coming off maybe their worst effort of the season, losing to San Antonio Friday night when nothing worked well. And Kareem, who had only 10 points Friday, but has an incredible string going of 347 consecutive double-figure games, but a couple of recently just made it. Anyway, 23-20, Jordan applying pressure as Parrish is having a good first quarter, gets it over to Bird. Celtics have not made a substitution yet with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go first period. Cooper on Bird. What a job last week. Kareem helps in a wild shot, and there you see the defense at its best by Cooper and the Lakers.
Good team defense because
steps on Will.
Good team defense because Bird had just enough opening to get that shot off, and Kareem reacted, and that's what the team defense is all about. Now this is our defense here where Jamal lost control of the ball and he hit Magic on the head with it. That'll lose control, I guess.
Jordan is on Tiny Archibald. Cooper is really going at it with Larry Bird. Ford and Wilkes. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Green comes out to meet Ford. A mismatch with Parrish against Wilkes. And Maxwell goes up without the ball. It's blocked, taken down by Magic.
And Magic stole that ball from stole the ball and
Wilkes the rebound. Cooper wide open. Bird keeps it alive to the Celtics with 1:18 to go. First quarter, Maxwell. Been out of sync lately, and Parrish right there lost control. They give it to Magic. He's got Cooper on his right. Timed perfectly. The pass was timed perfectly. The basket counts and a foul, and that's all that was.
That's an outstanding play by Magic Johnson because he timed it perfect on the pass. Sometimes you have a problem throwing it either too quick or too late. Now here's the defense. Larry Bird getting back on defense. Now he's trying to make Larry commit, so he's got to stay with it until he commits. The last second there.
Couldn't do it any better. So the basket by Cooper and the personal foul. Magic Johnson now with 3 assists, 4 steals, 6 points, 3 for 3 shooting, and 4 rebounds as Mark Landsberger comes in the game. He was a factor last week against the Celtics, and he really cleared out the boards, and he's making an early appearance. Bob McAdoo also comes in the game. So right now, let's tell you about the Laker people in there, because Landsberger, McAdoo, and Jordan are all in there, and that's a club that likes to run, and they've been doing well.
And that's a very quick team for the Lakers. They like it because they have enough offense out there and enough defense, but their main asset is their quickness. This group, that's what Pat Riley likes about this group.
51 seconds remaining, first quarter. Johnson all over Ford. Parrish far away, throws it up wildly. And Chris Ford knocks it out to Tiny. They have a new clock to work with 39 seconds. 35 and 17 on the shot clock. A tie at 23. Jordan last week knocked the ball away in a big steal against the Celtics. You saw at the top of the show. This time he's nabbed for the foul.
A very interesting thing to me, at least, is developing the matchup between Michael Cooper and Larry Bird. Now, these are both two very tough people. And when I say tough, I mean they are tough mentally and physically. And they're going at each other, really going at each other. And it's going to be interesting to see which one's the first to lose their temper.
There you see the two of them.
Because they're not playing ballet dancing. They're contacting each other.
Shadowing each other. Cooper particularly on Bird. That's the big matchup. Cooper on Bird. So the Celtics, who are having trouble at the free throw line, only 3 for 7. And have a 1-point lead. Their biggest margin 9 in this first quarter.
Inside. Not yet, Buck.
Ford on Magic, isolating him.
Let's go.
Landsberger and Cooper, and now coming around a screen baseline was Jordan. McAdoo going, got a good step on Parrish, and Parrish blocked it. Taken down, and Jordan steals. Puts it up with 4 seconds to go. Eddie Jordan with an alert steal, and there you get an example of what the bench has done for the LA Lakers. They used to be just a 7-man team, no more. They have a lot of depth now, and at the end of the first quarter, the Lakers lead by 1. You're seeing 2 of the top 3 rebounding teams in the league, but last week Boston had a big edge early. Not the case this time.
Well, LA got out to a better start this week, and one of the things is Magic, who is their leading rebounder, is playing today, and he didn't play last week, so that they got up to a shaky start last week rebounding. but he's such a good rebounder that he keeps him in the game, in the rebounding game. That
well, Joe.
Perennial fan Jack Nicholson, of course, who comes to most Laker games. The shooting percentage in the first period. Magic, by the way, has 4 rebounds to lead the Lakers. It's amazing that a guard really is in the top 10 in the league in that department.
6'8" guard. I want you to think about that.
Kevin McHale has come in the ball game for the Lakers, number 32, who is amongst the leaders in field goal percentage and block shots. Second-year player into Parrish. Good pass from Parrish to Ford, and good defense inside by Magic Johnson, who has been tough inside for the Lakers.
That was Bob McAdoo that blocked the shot.
Cooper outside, no good, and Mark Landsberger, who has the reputation of really muscling inside, commits the foul there, and his first personal foul here in the first half a minute. Bill Fitch, third year as coach of the Celtics, spent 9 in Cleveland, and Pat Riley, who took over on November 19th, has led the Lakers to a 27-12 mark. Johnson double teaming on Parrish. Tiny was left open by Jordan. He had a 3-point play, and here comes Jordan playing more and more. Cooper himself. He had McAdoo with him, but he took the play himself wisely, and the Lakers have a 3-point lead. Coming right back, Tiny Archibald doesn't mind that contact as Parrish puts in the rebound.
They had a 3-on-2 situation that the Celtics did, and they ran it very well. They end up with Parrish in for the offensive rebound.
Ford is on Magic Johnson. McAdoo guarded by Parrish, and McAdoo can hit that outside shot. He has been a top rookie, an MVP, a leading scorer, and if Bob McAdoo can develop this year, the Lakers can be awfully strong.
Yeah, because when he's hitting that shot, because he's so quick and he's such a tall guy, you know, he's only 6'9", but 6'10", but he plays, because his long arms, he plays a lot taller.
Tiny goes up, and the blocking foul is on L.A.
On Cooper.
So a couple of guards coming in the ball game right now for the Celtics. Gerald Henderson, who's awfully quick, and he can shoot. And Norm Nixon returns for the Lakers. There's Norman Nixon, an all-star, has been bothered by the flu as of late, but still averaging nearly 18 points a game. And Magic Johnson goes out of the ball game, having scored 6, done a lot of other good things for the Lakers.
And so did Michael Cooper.
Ford goes out for Boston. So there's Cooper and Magic.
And I'm sure that Larry Bird has mixed emotions about that. And that may sound funny that, you know, a guy that's really harassing you, but you still have mixed emotions because you want him out there so you can go at him and give him going over. But it makes it a lot easier when he's not out there.
I think the two will meet again.
Soon.
4 points for Larry Bird, by the way. Parrish and Archibald have 10 apiece. L.A. with a 1-point lead. McHale fighting through the screen. Wilkes short there. Wilkes rarely takes a bad shot. McAdoo. Bob McAdoo. They have found a home here in L.A. playing more and more. He played 25 minutes the other day. And getting in condition, he is seeing more action. Landsberger blocks off McHale. Tough play inside. Parrish picked up by Landsberger. And here come the Lakers. Jordan. Fortunately, Wilkes was there to pick up the loose ball. McAdoo can shoot wide open. Tiny high to get the rebound. 9:35 remaining second period. The Lakers by 3. That matches their biggest lead. Fall away Bird. Crowd was looking for steps. Lakers run best with Norm Nixon there. And McAdoo fills the lane.
This is a quick team the Lakers have. They're a good rebounding team, too. Because Bob McAdoo when he's a young player, was an outstanding rebounder.
Last week, this trio, Jordan, McAdoo, and Landsberger, turned the tie. Tiny, just with a tremendous move inside, got through a host of players to score.
Some of these players are so good you forget how good they are. That Tiny Archibald a few years ago led this league in scoring and assists, and now he's a playmaker. And so you forget how good he was offensively.
Not after that last play. Friends, next weekend, some of the best golfers on the tour tee off at the $300,000 Los Angeles Open. Johnny Miller's expected to return and defend his title. He won it last year and established a new tournament record of a 14 under par 270 for the 4-round event. The action starts at 5 Eastern next Saturday on CBS Sports.
And that is a tough golf course.
You would know.
I've been out there. I won't say I've played it, I've been out there.
Jamal Wilkes. We're going to be watching Jamal Wilkes because, as Bill has pointed out, when the Lakers aren't running, he becomes a key performer.
Because he's one of the best players in the league without the ball.
Larry Bird has not scored in 12 minutes. He has 4 points in the game. Tiny Archibald, one of the better free throw shooters, is 4 for 6 so far. And almost 3 minutes gone by, second period, and a 2-point Laker lead. Boston opened up a 16-7 margin in the first period. LA took the lead, and the biggest margin was 5 here in the second. Jamal Wilkes swings it around Jordan, the former Rutgers star. McHale, good defensive player, is on McAdoo. They want to cut him down. And McAdoo, wide open Jordan. And so Jordan, who normally is not a good shooter, Bill Fitch says, boy, other than shooting, he's one of the best point guards around, but he's already hit 2.
And he's 2 that they'll get your attention, and means you have to guard him. That's McHale's favorite shot.
And Kareem looking on. He has scored 4 points. But he'll be back as he watches a quicker team for the Lakers in action. Lakers are better when they run. Into Landsberger. Roby tried to overplay. McHale got a block. He is 8th in the league in block shots, and he showed why on that play. Rick Roby in the ball game, number 53, so we'll see some physical stuff going inside. And Magic Johnson, who had a very fine first period. Jordan. Henderson is on him. Henderson's awfully quick. Wild pass. McHale gets it out to Tiny. Foot race. McAdoo and Tiny. Draws the foul. Tiny played it well, used his body.
And his left hand.
Second personal on McAdoo.
So here he goes. Right there.
So the Lakers already have 14 fouls. The Celtics none, with a lot of time remaining. 8:07 as you look at Tiny Archibald, who played 6 years with the Cincinnati and Kansas City Royals. But as Bill mentioned, a prolific scorer early at over 25 a game. Good assist man, and now has fitted well.
You know, I talked to him that year that he led the league in scoring and assists, and he said, I don't like the way I'm playing because I'm not playing basketball. There's so many other things I could do to help my team win, and playing this way, I'm too confined. I'm not playing well. He likes this a lot better.
McHale blocked the Nixon shot out of bounds, and Kareem is coming back in the game. There's Kevin McHale coming off the bench. Yet amongst the league leaders as Kareem comes back in.
And against the Celtics, they're going more and more to a lineup with Kareem and Bob McAdoo.
Landsberger goes out. Kareem trying to set a screen for Nixon. He does, and Norman Nixon hits. Los Angeles breaking the tie. Gerald Henderson. McAdoo knocks it over to Kareem. Jordan almost found the ball in the backcourt while he was in the front court. McHale overplaying. Kareem now getting into the action, as you see. You're right there as the Lakers handle the ball. Double team, triple team Kareem, and Jordan has hit 3. So that's a factor in this first half for LA.
Because he's not normally thought of as a shooter, and he creates a different kind of pressure because you got to help out a guy like Kareem, and you try to get the guy that's got the weakest shooter to help him.
McHale goes down and is called for steps. So Bob McAdoo and Eddie Jordan each have 6 points in the game. Jordan averaging only 3.9. And McHale on the turnover. The Celtics have a timeout, 7:05. And the score is 39-35, Los Angeles. Top 10 in scoring, field goal percentage, and block shots. But the Lakers have many different styles depending on whether the big guy's in there.
Well, when he's in there, he's better in the half-court game because he's very difficult for other teams to stop offensively. But the Lakers play 3 different styles. They play the fast break when they have the quick team in there, and then they play when you can't break. It's best to have Kareem there because he can bail you out no matter when the plays break down and all that kind of stuff. But he's a guy that's really unappreciated a lot of times. He creates such problems for the other teams, even when he's not playing well. There's certain problems he creates that they're not able to handle.
7 minutes remaining in the second period, a 4-point Laker lead. Nixon to Eddie Jordan, what a job he's done with Wilkes, Kareem, and Bob McAdoo. And a whistle before the shot. It'll be a foul on Rick Roby of the Celtics. The Los Angeles bench has done a tremendous job. They used to be known as a club that only can do it with the starting 5, but off the bench, that's what LA has done. 6 points for McAdoo and 6 for Jordan. Roby on the steal. Gerald Henderson. Followed well, missed the jumper. Now Jordan coming out. Roby trying to bother him in the backcourt. Eddie Jordan, whistle in. And the foul is on Tiny Archibald. Eddie Jordan was acquired last year when Magic Johnson went down with that knee injury and missed 45 games and hadn't played much, but has been seeing more and more action since Pat Riley has been the head coach. Began his career at Cleveland, went to New Jersey before coming to LA. Lakers by 4, their biggest margin 5. Henderson is on Nixon. Tough assignment for Henderson. McAdoo, not to be denied, and draws the foul. That's a good move in there.
That's why he's so tough. He can hit that outside jumper, so you can't step away from him. And when you get up on him, he has a real good first step. And that's the key to driving to the hoop, is that first step. It's got to be a long step where you get your shoulder in front of the defensive man.
McHale's foul, his first, and team foul for Boston, 3. As McAdoo hits the first. He's been in the league 10 years now. This is his 10th year and averaging nearly 26.5 points. Been though with a lot of clubs: Buffalo, the Knicks, Boston, Detroit, and New Jersey. Maybe this will be the last and happiest stop for him. Lakers have their biggest lead right now. 6 points. Jordan all over Tiny. Roby and a foul. He got a little overzealous. Stock and trade gambling, and it paid off last week, but he's hit with his second personal foul.
Now, this team that the Lakers have on the floor is pretty effective, and they're getting a lot of rest for 2 of their key players, Magic Johnson and Michael Cooper. And the game started out, when they started out, Boston had pretty much control of the tempo. But after they got a pretty good sized lead, the Lakers have come back and they've controlled the tempo pretty much for the last quarter and a half.
And Magic comes in for Eddie Jordan, who gets a well-deserved ovation. Jordan goes out with 6 points and 3 rebounds, and really has been a spark plug. Even though he's been in the lineup with Norm Nixon lately, he has really been the man to make the ball club go. Now it's Nixon's responsibility, and Magic for the boards. McAdoo after the missed free throw by Rick Roby. Nearing the halfway mark of the second period. Spinning around inside. Roby on Kareem. Wilson trying to help out. Magic gets inside the basket. Counts it a foul. And a
great pass. That was a great pass that Kareem just made in.
And you see how fast Johnson went up?
Right. Well, what made it so good, now here's the shot from inside. Because there's good defense by Bird there.
From the top.
Right there. And there's the shot off the backboard.
Good quick pass and quick going up with that shot for Johnson. Doesn't roll for him, so he doesn't get the 3-point play. And a 7-point lead.
The reason I say it's a great pass is because Bird was playing good defense. It wasn't that he broke down defense. The pass had to be the right pace and the right place.
Make it an 8-point, 43-35 advantage. And a Los Angeles foul, and this will be the penalty situation for them. It's on Jamal Wilkes. Second personal on Wilkes. Let's look at that matchup again between Bird and Wilkes right here.
See, this is a contact sport, as you can see. Not a collision, but a contact sport. And these guys are going at each other.
Now that shows me, a lot of people think Wilkes, because he is a slight frame, is not good inside. He can handle that contact inside.
All these guys are great athletes. And one of the things that to be a great athlete, you have to be strong and quick.
Wilkes is both of those, deceptively strong. Larry Bird with the free throw. Bird has 6 points in the game, only 2 of 6 from the field. So between Cooper and Wilkes, the Lakers are holding off Larry Bird as well, perhaps, as they did last week. Kareem misses the short hook. Roby gets it out now to Archibald. He's got McHale to his left, Roby to his left. Roby the trailer. Get it.
That's the way to run a fast break. You get the guy to fill lane, and the fourth man down, the trailer, as we call him. Well, a lot of times the middle will be wide open.
5 minutes, 10 seconds remaining first half. They double team. Johnson is open. So is Kareem. Bird on him. Tough defense. Magic Johnson in and out. And McHale the rebound. Get it out to Henderson. Nixon is back on the D. Archibald shuffles it out.
Another good fast break.
Gerald Henderson, who's been in double figures 17 games this year, and Tiny has dished it off to the tune of 6 assists. And we'll have a timeout called by Pat Riley and the Lakers. Former Kentucky All-American, and with 4:47 remaining in the first half, the Lakers' lead has been cut to 43-41. And coming up at halftime, Brent Musburger will join you. We have the Women's World Speed Skating Championship, the rebound feature. Bill Sharman, the Celtic GM, the Laker GM and a former Celtic star. And an update on the Jerry Cooney story that was just done today. As you know, Jerry Cooney suspending training 4 weeks before his big heavyweight championship fight against Larry Holmes. We'll have that update story. Brent Musburger at CBS Control. And Tiny Archibald, who has figured in 25 of the Celtics' 41 points, scoring 13 and assisting on 6 others.
Not a bad contribution for the first half.
Pretty good. To no one's surprise, he has really been the quarterback of this Celtic team. But now the Lakers have the ball, and Roby almost had a steal, and Kareem comes back inside. Kareem now has 6 points. The leading scorer is Cooper, quietly with 9 for L.A. Archibald 13 and Parrish 10 lead Boston. 4.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Bird going to the hoop against Wilkes.
And he made a good move there and pass it off to
Roby.
Kevin McHale.
So Roby has 4 points. Kevin McHale only has 2. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Henderson fouls Johnson inside. Johnson,
that's a mismatch.
Yes, it is. I was going to say, he's got a lot of inches on Henderson inside. There is Michael Cooper, who has had a great days on CBS. He scored 30 points Christmas Day against Phoenix and 31 against Boston last Sunday.
And has 40 blocked shots. Does he know he's a guard? You're not supposed to do that?
Magic with the first free throw as the Celtics now in the penalty with 4:04. So now the Lakers have Cooper, Magic Johnson, McAdoo, Kareem, and Nixon. So Cooper playing guard position, Magic up front. Although Magic sticking with Henderson. Blocked inside by McAdoo. Basket will go by Rick Roby and the foul. But I'll tell you, Bob McAdoo may be playing his best defense we've seen him since he's been activated.
Here's the shot again. Left-handed. Bounce around and gets the bounce.
Third personal on Bob McAdoo. So he picks up 3 here with 3:50 to go in the second. But Roby can't connect on a 3-point play. Nixon quickly up. 2-point Laker lead, 47-45. Celtic biggest margin, 9 in the first period. Lakers 8 here in the second. McAdoo finds open Cooper. Air ball. Celtics can tie it up. We've had 2 deadlocks. Not this time. 3-on-1 now. Kareem, Cooper, Nixon. He won't count. Offensive foul. Norm Nixon.
That was some defensive and offensive play there. It's hard to tell how good a call was. There he goes up. He's still moving. He almost jumped over him.
Norm Nixon now has 3 personal fouls. So the Lakers getting in a little bit of foul trouble here.
And Cooper and Bird are at it again.
McHale left open. Kareem the rebound, and that may be a loose ball against Boston. Rick Roby commits his second personal foul. So Rick Roby, who was acquired from Indiana in a deal that sent Billy Knight to the Pacers, and Jamal Wilkes, who really since the All-Star break has found the range. In this game has 4 points.
There was a little contact under the board on that last play. And these two teams, because they're both such good rebounding teams, you'll find a lot of contact on the board because rebounding that's to work in the trenches.
I wonder if people realize that these are the greatest athletes perhaps in all of sports, certainly the best basketball players, going end-to-end playing defense, extending themselves to the fullest, you know, in mid-season because they want to finish first place. So the regular season is important indeed. Timeout, 3:09 remaining in the second.
Next Saturday on CBS Sports, great college action as Notre Dame meets South Carolina. Be a part of the excitement here at the home of the NCAA Championship, CBS Sports.
CBS Sports brings you great college basketball action as Coach Digger Phelps Fighting Irish of Notre Dame take on the Gamecocks of South Carolina. So be here next Saturday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time as Gary Bender and Billy Packer bring you all the color and excitement of NCAA basketball on CBS Sports. Bob McAdoo has now played 10 straight minutes, the most consecutive minutes for him this year, and he has scored 8 points, 3 rebounds, 1 blocked shot, and 1 assist. So more and more, he's into the fold with the LA Lakers, no mistaking that. Kareem on the line. He's got 2. Roby's foul was his second. Kareem, one of the better free throw shooters for a big guy.
What does that mean for a big guy?
You guys
are
aren't
you trying
supposed
to
to
say?
Well, do you consider yourself a good free throw shooter?
I don't consider myself a big guy. Magic and I are the same size.
Today,
remember that. I'd have to play guard.
Today you'd be playing backup point guard, right?
Back up, huh?
Roby sets a screen for Tiny Archibald, who's having a 15-point first half. And LA leading 49-47. So the Celtics are staying close. They dominated the first half of the first period, but then LA has come on and been in control, mostly because of the use of the bench.
Good defensive play by Gerald Henderson, because he's got a mismatch with Magic Johnson inside, and he's got to be a very, very active player in order to keep Magic from getting establishing position. So he's got to play him without the ball to try to keep him from getting the ball.
McAdoo goes out with 8 points, and Eddie Jordan, who scored 6 in his own right, comes in. So Pat Riley getting a lot of mileage from his bench. Kareem setting a screen for Jamal Wilkes, and Wilkes hits. He has been awfully quiet, but he'll end up with something like 28-30, and he'll be quiet at that. 6 for him. Cooper on a steal. 2-on-2. Magic to Wilkes. Roby back. Cooper. Wilkes. 2 in a row for Wilkes. 1 outside and 1 inside. And Jamal gives the Lakers a 53-47 lead with 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the first half. Brett Musburger at halftime, and Eddie Jordan bounced off Roby and went about 5 yards.
I'm sorry, but I fell for him. I could see it coming.
Roby inside, muscles his way in, and Kareem knocks one away. Maxwell fights his way inside. So Cedric Maxwell, one of the best field goal percentage shooters in basketball, will have a chance for a 3-point play, and he went up against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Eddie Jordan ran into a pick that shouldn't happen to your worst enemy.
That pick was nowhere near the front court, I'll tell you that. Maxwell on the line. By the way, Bill Russell has done an interview with Larry Bird. He's going to be doing one with Kareem and Julius Erving, a winner interviewing 3 winners. And of course, you're going to see portions of that interview as we move along the season. And believe me, I've never seen Larry Bird more candid and more informative than he was in the interview with Bill Russell. So you can look forward to that in future NBA telecasts. Roby overplaying, gets the ball away, and a foul is called.
No, he touched the outside line, I think. He just, they didn't come up with the ball, but they knocked it loose. They're really hustling. You know, these teams, it's important, the regular season, especially with these teams playing against each other. They got to establish that they can beat each other. But having the best record in the league is very, very important. Because, as I said, we said earlier, they're trying to avoid those mini-series.
And there's a lot of other things, too, like home court advantage and extra money. Let's not forget that. Kareem! Long sky hook just at the 24-second buzzer. Jordan tries to gamble. Doesn't work, and Tiny holds on. End-to-end action. Physical action inside like that. Maxwell, second chance, makes it work. So Cedric Maxwell, who Fitch admits has been out of sync lately, but had 31 points against San Diego when he wasn't really matched well up front, is more into the flow now. Bird has it. Steps called in the backcourt, and that's a big one because the Lakers, the Celtics, had a chance to take a lead, and with 1:08 to go, here it is again.
It's a loose ball. These guys are, there they go on the floor. That's a sign of a good team. When you see guys on the floor, there he came down with the ball. Well, just a little step. He went sideways. He didn't go forward.
Lakers by 1. And now 1 minute remaining. Jamal Wilkes inside. Boy, did he get position, and what a pass inside from Magic Johnson. So Jamal Wilkes now with 3 buckets in the second period has 10 in the ball game. 55-52 LA leading. Tiny coming off a Bird screen. And Magic, who goes end to end looking for someone. He's got Jordan as a trailer and slows it up.
Jamal kind of ran into a little heavy traffic there and lost his footing.
Those Celtics can come at you in waves with that burly front line. And Roby with the hit on Kareem before the basket. No basket and the foul, the third on Rick Roby. So Roby has 3. For the Lakers, McAdoo and Nixon have 3.
And what the Celtics do, they have 3 big guys that can play center. Parrish, Roby, and Kevin McHale can play center. So they have 3 guys that send after the strong centers like Kareem and Moses Malone and guys like that.
Kareem hits the first free throw. The Lakers have lost 2 in a row in 3 of their last 4. Danny Ainge, his baptism in the NBA with the Boston Celtics after giving up the try at baseball with the Toronto Blue Jays. Kareem makes the free throws. 5-point Laker lead, a half a minute remaining in the first half. Kareem 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 block shots. And he has not played as much as he normally would because McAdoo has been in there, and it's still Boston ball.
And Cooper and Bird are still getting to know each other. They could put on the same jersey.
Well, ultimately, it may all come down to that because I know that Larry Bird was throttled by Cooper last week, held to 11 points while Cooper scored 31. And this could be it. Now, you want to look at the teams, the best teams in the league and what they've done against the other strong clubs, which may have an indication when we get down to the late in the season. You can take a look now.
Now, you see these teams, what is established here, you play each other. Some of the teams, you play the other teams more, like the Lakers and the Celtics only play twice. But the Celtics will play Philadelphia 4 or 5 times, see, so that's a lot of difference there. But you want to establish some of these teams because you look at the team and say, now what do I have to do to beat them in the playoffs?
Milwaukee, you notice it's 7-2. Milwaukee, Boston in 2 weeks. Next week, Philadelphia. Everyone thought they would just disintegrate when Darryl Dawkins went down, but they're only a half a game behind these Celtics. Final seconds. Henderson misses. Magic comes down. A 4-on-2. Roby makes it 3, and it's out of bounds. Want to remind you, Brent Musburger will have an update on the Jerry Cooney story. He's given up training 4 weeks before the Larry Holmes heavyweight title fight. And a late report coming up from Brent, along with a rebound feature on Bill Sharman and the Women's World Sprint Skating Championships. Boston ball with 12 seconds. The Lakers will have the lead at the half. They were down by 20 last week, came back to win. Tiny in trouble. Jump ball, 3 seconds on the clock.
And tell me these guys aren't going to each other?
I can't say that because they are. Now, this game means so much, the pride factor. The last time they'll meet, they could meet only one other time, and that would be in the NBA Championship Finals, and the crowd is standing, not to mention the Celtics and the Lakers in their bench.
Well, you always have to establish something. Let the guys know, hey, when you play us, you're in for a game.
The best playing that way. Here
Now,
at the Forum.
the Lakers should control the tip. That doesn't necessarily mean they'll control the ball.
Sometimes you can cut in front.
Well, there are definitely plays you use whether you have to control the tip or not.
Lakers have it. Take a look at them. Skirmish on the ground again, Bill.
They're going at each other now. Tiny's throwing it. I got it.
He's 6'1", but I'll tell you, he doesn't mind that contact, and a very fine first half of action here at the Forum. And that's the end of the half with the Lakers leading the Boston Celtics 57-52.